Hey guys, I have another candle video for you today, and I actually filmed this once before and I wasn't really happy with how it turned out, so I'm refilming it. So this is a post-burn review and haul of some candles that I've picked up both from HomeWorx and from Bath & Body Works. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on these candles, please stay tuned. Okay, so I'm first going to, I guess, just address some Bath & Body Works candles that I picked up. So the first one I have here in front of me is White Pumpkin, and I've burned, I'd say, about half of it at this point. The notes on this are White Pumpkin, Autumn Spice Blend, and Ground Cinnamon. And I saw someone on Instagram say that it was sold out or they weren't able to find it, so I was definitely glad that I picked this up a couple weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago maybe. So I've been burning this in my bathroom, and I find that it's a really nice candle for a smaller space. It's not overpowering, but you can definitely smell it when it's burning. And it's also a bit softer, a bit creamier than a, I guess, sweet cinnamon pumpkin or something along those lines. So I don't like anything too gourmand in the bathroom. It just doesn't really seem to work for me. So this one is a nice kind of fall scent without being too gourmand or spicy, I guess. So speaking of bathroom scents, I also picked up Lemon and Fig, which isn't seasonal at all. The notes on this one are Bright Lemon Slices, Green Fig, Aromatic Fern, and Blonde Woods. And I thought, again, this would be a nice kind of fresh, kind of, it doesn't have any floral notes. Maybe it's like the Blonde Woods, the oakiness that I'm getting. But again, a nice kind of pleasant but not in your face, not too like kitchen citrusy, that I could burn in the bathroom come the spring. So I wasn't sure how long this one would stick around, so I decided to go ahead and pick that one up. And I also picked up some scents that I plan to use or have used in my bedroom. So the first of these is French Lavender, and the burn on this one has been kind of a mess because I accidentally left this burning overnight at least once. You can see one of the wicks, if not two, are kind of drowning there. It's tunneling. It's all kinds of messed up. So I don't even know if I could get this one to light again. I think I might have to put this one on a candle warmer, which, since I do have a tendency to fall asleep while this is burning, is probably best anyway. But yeah, that's totally user error on my part, but just thought I would show you that one. Another one I have here is Love, Rose and Vanilla, and I absolutely love rose scents in general. I like rose perfumes, all that sort of thing, and this one has had a pretty good burn so far. The wax has darkened just a tad where it's kind of pooled out, but nothing too terrible. And this is the first of these I've had, and I really do enjoy this scent a lot. I picked it up because I thought, oh, it would be a really nice candle to burn come Valentine's Day, and I couldn't resist lighting it up a bit early, so there you go. But it is a nice floral bedroom scent. Again, decent throw for, I guess, a smaller bedroom, no complaints there. And I definitely would consider purchasing this one again. The notes are, it just says rose oil, feelings of connection and self-confidence, and vanilla extract encourages relaxation. I don't get much on the vanilla here. To me, it's just kind of a straight up rose, so if you love rose, you'll probably like this. If you don't, you probably won't. The notes on the lavender candle, by the way, were South of France, lavender, vanilla, and soft jasmine. And as you may know, Bath & Body Works does a lavender and vanilla candle, which that one is definitely heavier on the vanilla. This one is kind of just your straight up medicinal type lavender, which I happen to prefer. I like that really herbal in your face lavender for like aromatherapy and that sort of thing. I've also tried their, I think it's lavender and cedarwood candle that's part of their aromatherapy line. I like that one as well, but this one is just kind of straight up lavender. So anyway, the final candle I picked up from Bath & Body Works was Evening Hearth, and I haven't burned this particular candle, but I have burned through an entire one of these before. The notes on this one are Cedar Kindling, Mug of Warm Cider, and Cozy Cashmere Throw. And I think a few people have reviewed this candle because it was kind of different, and for me, it reminds me a lot of Winter from Bath & Body Works, so if you like that kind of scent, you will probably like this one as well. But just like a very cozy, almost incensey kind of candle. So I guess you get cedar, kind of some apple notes, and cozy cashmere throat, whatever that means. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking this one out if you haven't already. And I didn't have any problems with the burn performance of the earlier candle that I picked up. All right, and just quickly, I will show you, I picked up one of their wooden crates here, which is holding 2 HomeWorx candles at the moment, but I don't know, I thought this would be cute to maybe put hand soaps or that sort of thing in, just to kind of keep them corralled in the candle cupboard that I have. So that is why I picked this one up. And as you can see, it does hold 2 of the hobnail candles from HomeWorx. It won't hold the standard size, it's too small for that. And of course you can put, I think you can only maybe fit 2 Bath & Body Works candles in as well. So that's what it looks like with the Bath & Body Works candles. So since I have the hobnail candles in front of me, I will go ahead and talk about these. I don't think I had ordered these when I filmed my last video, but they went down, I think they went from like 53 to 43, so I went ahead and picked them up. So there is of course Mountain Air, and this one, I love the jars, but I have a couple, I guess, gripes, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But this one I've burned about down to there, and this one is a really fresh, kind of citrusy candle. The notes are mountain sage, smoked vetiver, white cedar, and clementine zest. So I think I get more of the vetiver and clementine zest. I guess the cedar is kind of the base note there. I feel like I don't smell sage in isolation very often, so it's hard for me to kind of pinpoint that note. But anyway, this is a candle set I picked up because my bedroom is blue, and I just thought this would be a really pretty candle to burn in my bedroom, and it is gorgeous when it's burning, so worth looking into. My gripes with these candle jars are, first of all, this is very, very minor, but the label, you can see on the edge there, is just kind of sticking up a little bit. So not bad enough to send it back, but just a little bit of an irritation. And the way that these candles are designed is to have this rectangular flat piece on the candle so the hobnail doesn't go all the way around. And I think part of the reason most people are picking up these candles is because of these jars. And ideally you want to be able to reuse something that is this gorgeous. But once you finish the candle, and if you want to take off the label, then you just have this flat piece. And I guess you can kind of turn the candle around or make your own label if you want to put something else in here, but my personal preference would be just to have the hobnail continue all the way across, especially with this little minor imperfection with the label. I can see some people maybe just keeping the label on and just reusing it for whatever, but that's just my personal preference there. And the other thing is these lids don't have any kind of rubber or silicone gasket, I guess, to kind of keep the lids from moving around. So I think aesthetically they are more pleasing without any sort of silicone, but I just wonder if you wanted to store these for a few months, if the scent would kind of dissipate faster, or if there would be a greater risk of you chipping the glass or something. So just food for thought. All right, and the other candle from this collection is Woodland Cabin, and the notes on this one are
What happened? What'd you do? Oh shit, don't move.
The lid on this one fell off as I was holding it, and it broke the lid. Case in point, why a silicone gasket would be beneficial. You want to get the vacuum out? Not too badly.
Oh, you are bleeding. Oh shit. Is there any blood in there? You're gonna have to do it. I can't see.
I think it was just a fleck.
Is there anything in there?
I don't think so.
Don't move at all. Someone turn your camera on.
So, there's been a death in the candle family. Okay, well, in case you missed it, the lid from the candle I was holding up fell on top of the other candle lid and completely smashed it. So, I'll insert a picture of the damage. It actually, there was a little shard that kind of hit my foot and cut it slightly, so I had to put a band-aid on that. Put my hair up because I just wasn't having it. Have my wine here now. So as you hopefully can be able to see, there's little shards, there you go, inside the candle, and I wanted to ask if you guys think it's still safe to burn. The glass shouldn't be flammable or anything, so I guess the glass shards will just kind of become trapped in the wax when it melts. I might try and vacuum them out to see if I can get some of the larger pieces, but that sucks. It really, really sucks. So the other one I think is still in pretty good shape. There's just a little, I think, nick in the lid here. But other than that, I think it's okay. This one also has a couple of little glass shards. So I won't say that I'm not necessarily a clumsy person, but you can see how kind of loose these lids are. So again, if there were that silicone gasket kind of keeping it on the candle, tragedies like this could have been avoided. This video took a turn. So while we're on kind of a down note, I did want to mention that I picked up the Autumn Bonfire set, and the set that I purchased came without lids, and I debated sending them back, but I had almost finished burning a couple of other candles, so I figured, well, I'll have those lids. I don't really need an extra set of lids that I would probably just end up recycling. So I decided just to keep the set that was sent to me. I did contact QVC customer service, and they basically said I could return them at no charge because they were defective, but I just decided to keep them. So I guess on a more positive note, this is an Autumn Bonfire that I have completely finished, and I wanted to show you just how little wax is actually remaining. So with these candles, or Bath & Body Works candles, usually by the time you get to the metal base of the wick, once you're past that point, you can't really get any more life out of the candle. They'll just kind of self-extinguish. So I thought that was pretty good in terms of using up the candle. I did want to show you, for comparison's sake, this is a Crisp Morning Air from Bath & Body Works. So in the interest of being precise, I got out my measuring tape here, and it looks like there's over ½ inch of wax, I think, left in here. And again, it's past the metal wicks. Yeah, I would say there's between ½ inch and ¾ inch. So that's kind of a decent amount of wax on that one. On this one, I mean, less than ¼ inch. So definitely a better burn on this one. So I don't think I mentioned the scent notes on Autumn Bonfire. They are crackling firewood, amber embers, sandalwood, and dark cranberry. And like a lot of people, I get mostly the amber and sandalwood. It's not a very smoky candle, and it's not a very fruity candle. So if you like amber, you will probably like this candle. If you don't, then you probably won't. So that is that one. I plan on saving the second one for kind of Halloween to bonfire night, which is, I think, is it November 5th? So anyway, sometime in that time frame. So the next finished candle I have to share with you is Autumn Pine Cone, and you can see this one had probably the most impressive burn of almost any candle I've ever had. I've had diptyque candles that have kind of burned like this, where there's really hardly any wax left to speak of. And this was a really nice candle. I think I mentioned in my initial haul video that this smelled a lot like cologne, but when it burned, I think it did have more of those kind of appley notes like Autumn from Bath & Body Works. So the notes on this one are fallen pine cones, red oak, fresh eucalyptus, and juniper berry. So even if you don't like cologne scents, I wouldn't be turned off from purchasing this one necessarily. I think it did a really good job, as you can see. The other one from this trio that I have burned was it called Harvest Leaves? I don't have it. The jar has already been repurposed, so I don't have it to show you. I did take a picture of the, I guess, residual wax. That one did not burn nearly as well as this one, or even Autumn Bonfire. So who knows? I kind of treated the candles all the same in terms of how long I left them burning. I didn't trim any wicks, and I don't know what other variations there could be. But basically, I think they were pretty controlled in terms of my burning conditions, if you will. So who knows? But that one also, I don't have the notes to show you, but it did have that kind of bakery scone note that I think Mr. Kong's mom talked about. So the base kind of bakery note smelled a lot like sweet cherry pie or berry waffle cone from Bath & Body Works, but the fruit note was, it was a bit more tart, if I'm trying to remember. It wasn't as sweet in your face as the cherry pie, and it wasn't berry necessarily. Like, it kind of had that cranberry scent, but it wasn't a very tart cranberry. So hopefully that helps. And then the two other sets I have to show you before I talk about the pumpkin is white birch. Again, I think this is one of the sets I talked about purchasing in that video, along with Autumn Bonfire and the Woodland duo that I just smashed to smithereens. So this is white birch, and I haven't burned either of these yet. It's a really nice woodsy, it's like piney and woodsy, but it's kind of warmed up by something. I think this is the candle that made Ramona cry, so I'm not sure if I purchased mine before or after I saw her video, but she definitely, I guess, affirmed my purchasing decisions. So the notes on this one are white birch, fir balsam, and crisp winter air. So I definitely look forward to burning this as kind of a fresh wintry scent come January. I don't know if I'll get to it before then. And then this one is Trim the Tree, which I had mentioned I purchased. So this is that really boozy kind of apple cider candle. So I haven't burned either one of these either, and the notes are malt spices, roasted apple, pine, brandied cranberry, and blood orange. So I do look forward to burning this one while I am trimming my tree come, I usually do it right after Thanksgiving, so whenever that is. And I think I said in my last video that I had one of those little votives from the storybook tin. So I burned that last year and I'd really enjoyed it, so that was why I chose to pick this up this year. And yeah, it smells like the hot cider, the kind of spiked apple cider you have on the stove while you're trimming your tree. So definitely looking forward to that one. And I did want to mention one thing before I forget. The way that I clean out my candles is to pour hot water into them. And what happens is the wax liquefies and little kind of globules or drops rise to the surface, kind of like a lava lamp. And once those reach the surface and cool, they kind of form a disc, which you can just, you know, fish out. So I think some people put theirs in the freezer and, I don't know, just hack away at it, but that's the way that I prefer doing it. You also sometimes have the added benefit of the hot water loosening the glue that's holding the wicks, so then they just pop out a lot easier rather than, I don't know how people remove them when they're frozen. But anyway, just wanted to mention that. And if it's a candle where there's enough wax left or the wax is still fragrant enough, because sometimes you can have a decent amount of wax but most of the fragrance oils have dissipated, you end up with a little disc like so. And this is actually the Fay candle, I think is how you pronounce it, from Diptyque. So you have almost like a perfect kind of hockey puck, if you will, of really fragrant wax. So this one still smells really great. You could maybe wrap this in some cheesecloth and put it like in a lingerie drawer, or you could put it on a wax burner if you wanted to kind of get out the remaining fragrance that way. But for now, I just have this one in this little baggie. So just wanted to show you that. All right, and then last but certainly not least, I have the burlap pumpkin, which looks like so. I went for the bronze and gold design because it fits best with my decor. And I think the craftsmanship on this is really quite stunning. So in person they are just as beautiful as they look online, so I would definitely recommend picking them up for the home decor aspect. And you may notice there's a slight gap there between the lid and the base, and that is because I created my own little pedestal with this as a base. So then you can put your candle on top and burn it like that. So I'm very pleased with my little kind of MacGyver craft there. And I promised in the HomeWorx by Harry Slacken fan club, or whatever it's called, that Facebook group, that I would tell you guys how I did it. And what I did is I went to a website called craftcuts.com. I was looking for basically a 6-inch round circle of wood. So the distance from this end to this end is actually more like 6 1/4, but it was easier to find a round measurement. So anyway, I found a website called craftcuts.com, and so I ordered this. It's a 6-inch in diameter piece of MDF that's been painted black, so I didn't have to worry about that. And this is a 1/4 inch thickness. I also ordered one that was a 1/2 inch thick because I wasn't sure, I guess, how like sturdy this would feel, but this feels plenty sturdy. So I would definitely recommend going with the 1/4 inch so the lid fits on just a little bit better. And because there was a bit of a gap between the 6 inches and the 6 1/4, I went to Michael's and I found some adhesive foam, I think it is. So I will link down below the product that I picked up. I think it's like a 9 by 12 inch piece of adhesive foam. It's black, and I want to say their measurement is like 2 centimeters thick. So I cut 2 strips of that and I doubled it up. And since it's adhesive, you don't have to worry about gluing it down or anything. And there are a couple little gaps here, like the 2 pieces don't fit all the way around. But I find that that actually helps you kind of get your finger in here and remove it in case you wanted to, I don't know, just use the pumpkin as is, or you wanted the lid to fit a little bit more snugly. So the foam helps kind of cushion it a little bit and just makes it really kind of sturdy. There's no like wobbling or anything like that. So anyway, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I think this applies to do this for maybe around $10, $11, so not too bad. And if you have the capability of cutting your own 6-inch circle of wood or MDF or whatever, then it would be even cheaper. But did want to share that. And this is the remnants of the wax for the pumpkin. As you can see, it was pretty good here. I think the metal on most of these wicks is just peeking through. There was one wick that, I don't know, gave up a little bit earlier, but anyway, I haven't cleaned this one out yet, but I will use the same method of pouring hot water into it. And when I first burned this, I didn't actually love it. And I think it's because I wasn't feeling well that day, so it just, any scent in general just kind of turned me off. But I did have it lit in the living room and I was taking a bath. So I have a single story apartment, so there's no like second story or anything. But I was able to smell the candle while I was taking a bath. So I thought that was pretty impressive in terms of the throw. So the notes are pumpkin, orange, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg. So what I've heard from other reviews is that to them, the orange is what sets this apart from perhaps sweet cinnamon pumpkin or your other kind of standard pumpkin spice candle. And the cinnamon isn't quite as strong, or it's more balanced by some of the other spices. So after that initial burn, I did enjoy it a lot more. And I also wanted to show you, this is a little sweet cinnamon pumpkin candle that, oh, Jesus Christ. I think I may need to change my filming setup here because if I lose another lid tonight, I'm just gonna go bonkers. So I guess as I was saying, this is from White Barn or Bath & Body Works. It is a little mini sweet cinnamon pumpkin candle. And the notes on this one are harvest pumpkin, spiced clove, vanilla cream, and brown sugar. So it doesn't even say, I guess it has cinnamon in the title, but it doesn't say it in the notes. So the only spice that's different, I guess this one says nutmeg and cardamom. So I don't know how much of a difference that really makes, but this one does have a much more pronounced cinnamon scent to it. So if you're not a huge fan of cinnamon, or if you don't like an overpowering cinnamon, then you'll probably like the HomeWorx candle better. But anyway, I just thought this was a really cute little pumpkin here. If I can manage to not kill it. And I wanted to hold these up side by side, but I don't trust myself right now, so I might just have to take a picture and post it later. Because they are, maybe I can just hold the bases so you can get a sense of the scale. So that is the difference between the Bath & Body Works and the HomeWorx for the bases and the lids. I do think these are quite complementary in their color scheme though. They both have the gold. I think this one is a little bit more of a yellow gold maybe. This one looks a little bit more richer, more metallic. But again, that is the size difference. So that is my candle haul. I kind of wish now that I had just kept the first one that I filmed and not tried to redo it, but here we are. So if you enjoy watching me fail miserably on the internet, please do subscribe. I picked up the winter fireside candles as is this morning, so those will be coming at some point. I might just pop something up on Instagram. I don't know if I want to make a dedicated video just about those. I am kind of bummed about my woodland set, so if those show up as is, I might pick those up, or if they ever go on sale at some point, who knows. But there we are. So hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk to you soon.